Please welcome the #1 player in the world, Karim Darwish. While they're getting warmed up, we're going to have a quick chat with Joey Barrington. English squash player, played all his life, let's just say, for England in a kind of way. He grew up in a squash home. He's a second generation of squash greatness. His father, one of the most known names in the game, Jonah Barrington. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So, give us a little bit of a frame of reference about the match we're about to see and what this means for both Egyptian squash and these two players.
Well, I've had both the pain and the pleasure of playing both these players. It's an exciting time for squash at the moment with the Egyptians. There's an army of Egyptians that are in the top ranks in the world, and people are talking about kind of new game of squash. But really, what they're looking to do is they attack a huge amount to the front of the court. The English game is a little bit more traditional, where we look to play to the back of the court, and they'll be opening out the court against each other. Ramy is slightly unorthodox if you were looking at the purists of squash. He has a lot of quirks in his technique, and he's going to be playing some very, very interesting shots that people will be trying to work out. Whereas Karim, who's currently the world #1, he's a very classical player. He's very severe at the front, but he has a very classical technique. So it's going to be a nice contrast of styles, but there's going to be a lot of work at the front of the court with both of these players.
So, you talk about the front of the court. I mean, there's something different about the way they move the ball to the front of the court. And my own feeling is that maybe it's something to do with they grew up in a hotter environment. They're probably playing with a hotter ball, and they have to develop the skills to really control the ball to the front. What do you think is your opinion about how they've created such accuracy to the front?
Well, in Egypt, there's more juniors that play squash in Egypt than probably anywhere in the world. There's an absolute many kids that are playing, and from a young age they just play no fear squash, and they look to attack the rallies from the word go, and they just groove their shots. So there's no secret coaching that's going on in Egypt or anything like that. It's just literally doing it from a young age, and it becomes second nature to them.
Double secret coaching, no? What's going on in England squash right now? How is England squash as a unit kind of responding to these styles and figuring out how to win at this level?
Well, I mean, there's one of our most successful players at the moment is playing later on this evening is Nick Matthew, and he's done very well against the Egyptian players. He plays a very, very traditional game of squash, but a very physical game. And he's been getting a lot of benefit against the Egyptians. I mean, he plays his game of squash. So the great thing about squash is that there's a lot of different styles and there's a lot of different tactics that people use. And that's what makes it so interesting. There's no perfect way to play it. Everyone is an individual, and it's an individual sport.
For people that maybe haven't seen a lot of squash at this level tonight, what should they be watching for? What are some of the nuances they're going to see? Kind of frame it for them a little bit.
With the right-handers, they'll be playing a lot down the backhand wall. Majority of the games played down the backhand wall, so tonight there'll be a lot of work down there. The backhand front corner is usually an area that everyone likes to attack, so there'll be a lot of counter drops and exchanges in that area, and just general speed of rallies, really. I mean, there'll be a lot of attacking from the serve with the Egyptians, and probably less rallying in the match that's going to be on later this evening.
One of the things you talked about there is how far up the court they're going to be, the high tempo, very early hitting of the squash ball.
Yeah, it's about volleying. At the highest level of squash, everyone looks to volley as much as possible, and that creates a lot of pace and a lot of pressure, and these guys will be looking, particularly Ramy, who has a long reach, will be looking to volley a lot on the forehand and the backhand.
Thank you again, Joey. Everyone, Joey Barrington.
Well, welcome to PSA Live. I thought you might want to hear the views of Joey Barrington for this match, and we just looked through the usual stats that you've seen on screen. The interesting thing, as you see, these two actually met here last year in this exact location, and Darwish beat Ramy in that match in the quarter-final stage. So, a fascinating match. Both players in their semi-finals looked absolutely fantastic. They were really, really on top, and well, the last 5 meetings, you can see it's been seesawing between them with Ashour, Darwish and Ashour, and it is a repeat of the World Open final from October last year, where it was a wonderfully tactical game. Karim Darwish really changed things around. But interesting comments on the chat room. I'm in there, obviously, keeping an eye on matters. I was talking to Karim this morning over breakfast, and I did ask, was he prepared? And
cell phones and pages.
Karim's answer was really, it all depends what Ramy Ashour turns up tonight. He said if he's hitting nick after nick, it's going to be a real tough match. But if it's the Ramy we saw at the Tournament of Champions, then I'm really confident. So interesting views from Darwish, who knows he's got a big match here, but he doesn't really know what sort of match yet. It's nice to see so many people in the chat as well. It's a fantastic venue. There's not many seats available tonight. They're really coming in their droves. Of course, it's Friday night now. I think the finals sold out for Saturday. So it really is quite an atmosphere here. I'll look back at one of the other slides we looked at a little bit earlier, actually. Oh, this audience, extra little round of applause there.
North American Open 2000 match between Ramy Ashour of Egypt serving, Karim Darwish also of Egypt to receive. 5 games, love all.
So here we go. Karim Darwish in the white shirt, Ramy Ashour in blue. We've got a new microphone on the referee, which seems to be having a few problems, a little wireless mic, but hopefully the PA guys here will get that sorted out fairly quickly. And well, I was just checking on the odds on bwin.com. Of course, there's live betting on this in running, and to be honest, the bookie is in the same sort of thoughts that we are. We're really not sure. This really could be 50-50. We know we're going to see an absolutely thrilling match. First time they've met since the World Open final.
Hand out. One love.
And Darwish, first point, looked exceedingly good yesterday against Palmer. Never gave Palmer a chance.
Down.
We
2 love.
discussed the match there, and Darwish did say he was surprised that David didn't attack a little bit earlier in that match. He only really had a real go halfway through the third, but in Karim's words, I don't think it was too late. And what a great retrieval. It's those retrievals from Darwish that's
Down.
made it a little bit special.
Hand out. 1-2. Yes, let. 1-2 from the right.
It's nice to see some familiar faces back in there as well. Hello, David in Norway. It's a late night for some of you. Already past midnight. This court, of course, it's the same court from the Tournament of Champions, but we do have a brand new floor. So the ball is absolutely true here. There's no problems at all. We did have a few dodgy bouncers in New York, which always added a little random factor, but like crazy golf. But there's none of that here. Everything is solid. You hit a good shot, you're going to get rewarded.
Yes, let. 1-2 right.
It really is a question of what sort of state Ramy Ashour is in. We've seen him in trouble. There's an incredible match in round 1 against Steve Coppinger. You really must watch that one.
Yes, let. 1-2 right.
Coppinger could easily and possibly should have been 2-love up. And played the game of his life. He is one for the future. Somebody was asking me on the chat. And for somebody who's a little bit lowly ranked at the moment, I think Steve Coppinger could well be a man who could break into this top 20. The way he played in the first round against Ramy Ashour, certainly got all the shots. A little bit unconventional at times. This is a long rally here. Oh, very nice. It's already a little bit tactical here. Ramy being, interestingly, what a lovely post. And there's a big crowd here tonight.
2-all.
Interestingly, Ramy just playing a little bit safe on some of his shots. I'll tell you now, we'll have DivX replays available of both semis and the final, because we know these matches are going to be thrilling. Oh, a lovely little switch.
3-2.
Just see, there you go, Darwish, just a little flick of the wrist, and that's good enough. And Darwish 3-2 ahead now. Ashour won the 4th point, bringing it back to 2-all.
4-2.
These guys are certainly feeling each other out. 5 minutes, 6 points. The squash already is at an exceptional level. Oh,
Goes down, yeah.
Yes, it's been called down.
Yep, we're in agreement. Ball was down. Your ball was down, Mr. Darwish. You got the tin. No, I'll slow it down. Hand out, 3-4.
Karim's not too happy about it, but he's accepted it. Still quite a few players around here. David Palmer's still around. Joey Barrington's around, as you heard. Oh, that's wonderful. What a rally. The crowd are gasping, and a fantastic finish.
Four all.
Well,
Yes,
we
left,
know
4-all left.
this is going to be special.
Hand out. 5-4.
Well, I suppose a lot of you who are watching this from Europe, you don't have to get up for work in the morning, so that's why we have a good audience here tonight. There's a query about this one.
6-4. Yeah, it was good.
Yes, Karim was following that one in carefully, wasn't he? Ramy still thought it was low.
Down. 5-6.
You can feel the tension every shot. These two know each other so well.
No let.
This might be yes. I was thinking this is no let.
6-all.
This one was too good from Ashour. Yes, Darwish is in a bad place, and Ashour got the nick. 6-all, 7 minutes. It's not the tightest squash you'll see. Ramy does tend to draw you into playing loose like him. Oh!
7-6.
That was a wonderful, just a little bit of a delay on there. Made Darwish think that he was going to punch it towards the back. Sure, having to do a little bit of defence, but yes, absolutely tennis-like. Sure did well there, because Darwish got a sidewall nick. Managed to dig it out. And in an error.
Hand out. 7-all. Out.
Oh. Ramy Ashour
8-7.
looks at his racket. 3 points. Darwish just G's himself up a little bit. Seven. 9 minutes gone. Oh. Longest rally of the match so far. We've turned over the minute. Ramy was taking a gamble there, and in the end,
Right side. Right side. 9-7.
there you see Ramy punished. A bit of guesswork. That's one thing that about Ramy's game that sometimes does happen. He does preempt the shot, try to get in early. We saw against Thierry Lankou in yesterday's match. Thierry won 4 points with a flick
Yes,
shot.
Yes, let. 9-7.
Where,
Right side. Referee's decision.
where he sensed that Ramy was making a big move from left to right, and suddenly flicked his wrist at the last second.
7.
Little look from Ashour towards the officials there.
But 9-7 from the right.
Strange situation here, of course, because these two have been training with each other and knocking up a little bit. They've also been giving each other odd bits of advice from time to time during the earlier round matches. Although, as you possibly know from the commentary we did in TOC, Ramy really is a solo performer. This is every bit as good as we thought it would be. I haven't seen the Ramy nicks yet. He's been pretty restrained, hasn't he? He's not been going for them. Interestingly, against Lankou, he really opened up a few times and was spraying them left, right and centre. And all Thierry could really do was just shrug his shoulders. Ramy's changed his game a little bit for this match. Yes.
No let. We weren't going to get that ball. It was his time to hit it.
Yes,
And now 8-9.
Karim says, why was that an no-let? The referee Mike Riley says you just weren't going to get it. Good point from Slav on the chat, as always. We've certainly got the top 4 players in the world at the moment. These 4 reached the semi-finals in New York.
Yes, let.
And here they are.
I'm from the right. Yeah, you blocked in his exit too.
Of course, Emma certainly has a bit of trouble, as we know, with his knee. I'm not sure if we're going to see him next month. I think he's already departed the building. I was hoping to have a little word with him and see what his plans were for Super Series in Canary. But he's certainly not 100%, although I've got to say, mistake.
And out. 10-8, game ball.
Mistake from Ashour. And now, 10-8. Oh, what a shot from Ashour. And then he's 10. And that's the first game.
11-8.
Ramy Ashour played an incredible shot there, but it's finished 11-8. And here's the graph of the first game. And I'll be back with you in a minute. Just have one small issue to deal with.
Fifteen seconds. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Fifteen seconds.
Okay, welcome back. Trying to sort out a couple of television issues here at the same time. It's a busy life here on the road.
He's the 3-4 seed.
So, as you see from the graph, Karim Darwish led virtually all the way through that. There was just one period where Ramy Ashour was 7-6 ahead. We're live here in Richmond, Virginia. It's 6:30 in the evening.
Mr. Darwish leads. 1 game to love. Love all.
And here we go. Oh. Well,
1 love.
that's not a good start. And that's the Ramy Ashour we were hoping that we weren't going to see. Not too many of those from Ramy in the first game.
2 love.
Just watch a replay of this shot.
1-2.
Sorry, our scoreboard person has just realised the score's the wrong way around. Darwish was leading 2-1.
Hand out 3-1.
And Ashour pulled back, but now Darwish 3-1 ahead. There's not a lot of building points here, is there? It's for the squash purist. It's
No let.
oh well.
Hand out 2-3.
Yes, Karim's not too happy about this.
Too good. 2-3.
Decision was made on the fact that I think Ramy actually got a nick out of that. We do have the 3-referee system, but I really thought that Karim was right on top of it, and pretty sure he'd have got that back, but obviously would have been in trouble. There's the driven shot. Just about all the top players playing that shot through now. Oh, wonderful.
Three all.
It's a really good quality rally. Two best Egyptians at this moment in time. The world champion against the world number 1. Doesn't get much better than this. Oh, that's a great defence from Darwish. He's eventually tinned, and ironically, that was
4-3.
This was probably the easiest one for him to get back. Actually, he just mishit it after getting back all those much tougher ones earlier. Very quick points, only 2 minutes. Already 7 points scored.
Stroke 2. Ashour. 5-3.
Oh.
And out. 4-5.
Take that. Let's watch this. Bang. Ramy never moved.
Yes, let. 4-5. Right side.
Ramy doing a little bit of hurdling. Of course, the interesting thing about this match is that Ramy's no longer the new kid on the block. All the top players know him very well now. They know his style. They know his favourite shots. And top players have adapted. That's what makes this game so fascinating. And Karim does think about the game a lot. The way he played the World Open, I thought it was fascinating.
No,
well, I don't understand this. I don't see any reason for this to be a no-let.
Decision.
Ashour is in the way.
6-4 right side.
The ball's sort of fairly high up the back wall. And, well, I'll disagree with that one. That's a standard let. What it might mean, actually, is this game gets a little bit dirty.
7-4.
These players will have both got it into their memory banks. 2 no-lets given here. This set the frame of reference for the rest of this match.
Yes, let. 7-4 left.
Yes, and I think it's just getting a little silly now. And Karim looking for a stroke in a situation he probably wouldn't normally have done. But, well, 2 no-lets going Ashour's way, and he's opened up a 7-4 lead, exactly what he needed here. Going 2 love down.
7-4 left.
This game far from over.
Down.
Oh. Darwish plays a stunning shot.
5-7.
Look at this, bang. Beautiful. Oh, wonderful length. And this crowd really appreciating
6-7.
the squash on offer. Karim's won 2 very important points there. Played that shot beautifully.
Yes, let. 6-7 from the left.
Somebody said to me, oh, that one's out. And Darwish has pulled this one back.
7 off.
Somebody was saying to me that this is the 3rd, 4th place playoff from the Tournament of Champions. These two, of course, lost in their semi-finals against Gaultier and Matthew. And those two make up the 2nd semi-final. Ramy Ashour is certainly a different man here in Richmond than he was in New York. Much more focused. We're not seeing the blazing shots from his racket though.
Yes, let. 7-all from the right.
Well, Darwish wants a stroke. Ramy wants a no-let because he got a nick. Certainly getting tense out there. And well,
out. 8-7.
I think that's the first unforced error of the game from Karim Darwish. He's been so solid in this game. Ramy played that shot and it missed Karim by a fraction. He will get a stroke there.
Ashour. 9-7.
Watch this one again. Not sure why Karim's unhappy, I think. Well, he thinks he was far enough back. But Ashour.
9-7.
9-7 lead. Darwish was coming in on that serve, but Ashour put a wide one in.
(10-7) game ball.
So 10-minute second game.
Down. Second game
Another
to
mistake.
Ashour. Games are 1-all.
Darwish, 4 points in a row for Ramy Ashour. And it's tied at 1 game apiece. And now we've got the match on. 18 minutes the first game, and 10 minutes game 2. Well, we've got a little chance, we've got a little break. Have a quick look at the past rounds here for both players. Karim Darwish having no trouble with Arshad Iqbal Burki of Pakistan. Renan Levine gave him a tough call. But it's very difficult for these top players in the early rounds sometimes to motivate themselves, and I think that's been the case with a lot of the players here who've just looked off their form in the early rounds. But as we said in one of the commentary matches yesterday, when they've got 3-time world champion and British Open champion on the other side of the court, suddenly that makes you play a little bit better. And Karim Darwish said as much to me this morning, that he really went out all guns blazing against David Palmer. And look at that, 11-4, 11-5, 44 minutes, 119 minutes in total. 2 hours for Karim Darwish on this court. As for Ramy Ashour, well, he was in massive trouble against Stephen Coppinger. Should have been 2-love down, but managed to take the second on a tie break. He looked much better against Joey Barrington. And Thierry Lancu, you sort of felt a bit sorry for Thierry, because Thierry gave Ramy a very tough match
15 seconds
in New York. But here, it really wasn't close. Ramy Ashour was just too good. Well, if you're watching this live, do come into the chat room, come and say hello. And it's great to see quite a few people in here tonight. It's lovely. We do have a new chat on its way. For those of you PSA Live stalwarts who've been working on this 70s chat for the last couple of years, we used to have a much more sexier chat. The trouble is it crashed our server. Well, we do have a new chat that will be coming, and hopefully we'll have it ready in a couple of weeks' time. So don't say we never do anything. Well, Ramy's taking his time coming back to court. The next match following this is Gregory Gaultier, the Tournament of Champions champion, against Nick Matthew. Repeat of that TOC final from a month ago. So I think Karim had a little bit of a rough end of the stick in that last game. A couple of things just went against him, 2 no-lets. And it'll be interesting to see how things pan out in this third. Lovely opening rally here. Well, isn't this special? Oh, and
one love.
Ramy Ashour drives that ball through Karim Darwish. Everyone's playing this shot now. In trouble. At the front of the court, don't worry about it. Just hit it as hard as you can. Down the middle. new game, isn't it? Best of 3.
Yeah.
Let's start again.
And out. 1-all.
As you can see, there's a fantastic audience here this evening. And also, front wall hasn't got many seats spare either. Oh, what a shot from Ramy Ashour.
And that 2-1.
And you just feel Ramy's starting to open up a little bit now. She's
Flat. 2-1 right.
both these players are in this for the long run. Saw a comment in the chat that let's just play the 5th, and you're probably right. This could well go to a 5th. These two are almost like well, Darwish tried the shot, didn't come off.
3-1.
Ramy Ashour makes a little noise just to let Karim know that he didn't make that one. Oh, this is good. This is very good indeed.
4-1.
The question is, can Karim respond? Ramy's moved up to the next level. Karim, at the moment, he's just hanging on. Yes. At the moment,
5-1.
it's one-way traffic at the moment. Ramy Ashour is moving so smoothly around court. Karim very much on the defensive. World number 1.
Stroke. Wish.
He's been asked a few questions.
Now 2-5.
Yes. Well, Darwish needs a few calls in his favour. Ramy had 2 no-lets and a stroke, which we questioned.
Out 6.
But an unforced error from Darwish, not the time he wanted it at all. Sure leading 6-2. World number 1 now. Some serious questions being asked. Big points here. Oh, that's wonderful. And Darwish responds.
3-6. Down. 4-6. And out. 7-4.
What a shot from
Down.
Ashour there.
8-4.
And he certainly stepped this up.
And out. 5-8.
Wonderful finish against the neck. The Egyptians always appreciate a good shot. Ashour and Darwish just made eye contact there.
Down. And out. 9-5.
At the moment, Ramy Ashour is just that little bit too fast. And Karim Darwish is reacting rather than dominating.
Down. Hand out. 6-9.
A rare error from the two-time world junior champion. Back warning.
Out. 10-6. Game ball.
Bit of fortune here. Ashour just look at that sidewall nick actually. 4 game balls for Ramy Ashour to go 2-1 up. Oh. This is getting better and better.
7-10. Game ball.
Ashour, Darwish, both neck and neck. Darwish though, 3 game balls against him.
Down. Game to Ashour. 12-7.
Another error. And Ramy Ashour
Ashour leads 2-1.
takes a 2-1 lead. And well, while we get a little break, this is a look through the draw. Every single match on here covered live on PSA Live. And there you see, no real shocks. Only one shock actually in the whole of the first round. Tom Richards beating Julian Illingworth, the American number 1. And Julian Balbo up in the top right corner there, nearly knocking Ollie Tuominen out. This is how the draw has developed from round 2 onwards. Again, no shocks in terms of seedings. Everything has gone to plan except for Nick Matthew beating Amar Shabana. I've got to say, it's worth watching that match because Shabana really wasn't showing any signs of problems moving in the first 2 games. And that really was Nick Matthew actually beating Amar Shabana. But, obviously Amar does have a slight problem in moving. It'd be very interesting to see how things develop though. So these are the 2 semi-finals. Coming up next is Gregory Gaultier and Nick Matthew. That's going to be pretty special, isn't it? The repeat of the TOC final. We're looking at the rankings here going back to 1999. Karim Darwish, he was World Junior Champion in 2001 in Milan. I was there to watch that final. And by that time he was already on the edge of the world's top 20. Ramy Ashour wasn't to join the PSA for another 3-4 years. But when he did, didn't he make a mark?
15 seconds!
Is that loud enough? In a year and a half, within a year and a half, he was in the top 20 himself. And actually overtook Darwish at the end of 2006. And it's only in the last 3 months that Darwish has actually edged ahead. First going to number 2.
Time!
And then for the last 2 months, being world number 1. With Ashour actually now resting in
Players to the court, please.
resting in 4th position. Mike Riley sounds like my mother when I was a kid, calling Ashour back on. I'll tell him that afterwards. So here we go. Where is this going to go now? It's quite a tough match. There's a lot of effort going into this game. Neither player has yet to change shirts either. So there's the scores. Darwish taking the first 11-8, and the last 2, 7-7. The ball is bouncy out there. It is quite warm.
2-1.
And
Love all.
even more so with the fact there's a lot of people in here this evening. It is probably the warmest it has been all week in this arena. But now Darwish has to win the next 2 games. They've
Stroke to Ashour, 1-love.
played each other 7 times, and as you saw, Ashour leads 4-3 on head-to-heads. In their head-to-heads,
That 1-all.
they've only once had a 5-setter. That was here last year in the quarter-final when Karim Darwish won 3-2, 11-8 in the 5th. And in fact, it was a similar pattern to here. Darwish won the first 11-4, then Ashour won the second and third 11-6, 11-4. Darwish then took them the final 2 games, 11-5, 11-8. So I just wonder if that could be significant here on this court, in this venue, 12 months ago. Players sometimes do say that they remember little similarities that stick in their mind.
Yes, let. 1-all from the right.
It's still loose at times. Ramy quite often doesn't concentrate on the tight shots. He's just setting himself up for the next attack. That will be a stroke.
Ashour. And out 2-1.
Great block from Ashour. Really starting to punish Darwish here. Darwish has put in a lot of effort in to stay in these rallies. And that one was too tight.
3-1.
Hopefully we've got a nice view here. See how tight this is.
3-1.
Right against that side wall. 3-1 Ashour leads.
Out. And out. 2-3.
Yes, Ramy starts gesturing at himself. He's not been doing that so far in this match. And his first attempt at his favourite shot. Backhand cross court. Oh, that's wonderful.
It's
a great length here from Darwish. Dies in the corner. But Ashour really starting to open up now on Darwish's serve. That's the second serve in a row that Ramy has had a good go at.
Stroke to Ashour.
It's not tight enough, that one, Karim.
And out 4-3.
He's punished for really just hitting that shot straight back at himself. And Ashour takes the lead again. Oh, that's wonderful.
And out.
And it's Karim's turn to have a go off the serve. Attacks straight away off the serve. 4-all.
It's left 4-all right.
live here in Richmond, Virginia. It's 3 minutes past 7 in the evening. Where a lot of you watching this in Europe.
5-4.
Well, Ramy went for the air shot here, didn't he? Went for the glory shot. It wasn't far away, was he? Just the top of the tin. 5-4, Darwish leads.
Yes, left. 5-4 from the left. He was.
Karim has that habit of talking while the opponent's trying to say something to the referee, and it's totally put Ramy off, and that's put him off.
4.
I've seen Karim do that a few times when his opponent is trying to say something to the referee, and Karim's just nagging away in the background. In the end, Ramy couldn't understand what he was trying to say and just gave up. Karim.
Yeah.
Oh.
5-6.
What a shot. It's been absolutely superb. Not been many errors, but the winners have been incredible. Darwish picks up an Ashour special. Big points these. What speed from Ashour to get that back. Oh, what a rally. And Darwish was there, just touched the tin on the flick cross court. Really is special squash here. Oh, what play! They're still going. Darwish does well there because that came out the back wall awkwardly. That one's bounced awkward as well.
Out.
And only Ashour puts it out of court.
And out 7-6.
Well, this is just incredible. How insane was that rally? I think in any other match, that rally would have scored 3 or 4 points. Would have been finished at 3 or 4 occasions beforehand. Might be a no let here.
8-6.
Yeah, well, the refs are saying
No let.
yeah. And Ramy's not happy. But there's no difference between that and a no let we saw in the second game. And Karim knew it. Chance for Darwish. Ramy's on the floor. Oh, wonderful. Oh, amazing. This is such a big point. 8-6 Darwish. Now Ramy attacks. And he's tinned. The clench of the fist from Darwish said it all. That was a really significant rally. A 3-point gap now. That really was a crucial point. You saw how both players played it. Both players playing extremely fairly here. This is a true squash battle. And a tin from Ashour.
10-6. Left side. Game ball.
Four game balls to take us to 2-all. Now there'll be a stroke, and we're going to have a fifth. Well, could the call that I made at the start of this game come true? We're going to go into a fifth. We've only had a fifth once when they've played each other, and it was here a year ago. And now we're going to see it again. This is the graph for that second game, and it's always incredible when you go back. They were actually 6-all, remember? And Ashour was ahead for all the early parts of that game, but Darwish had a run of 3 points in a row to take a 6-4 lead, and then another 5 points in a row to go from 6-all to 11-6. Well, one of the slides we get requested to show occasionally is just a summary of the past year, really. Major finals going back. And missing out Davenport, of course, here last year, where James Woolstrop beat Gregory Gaultier 3-2. There's been some fantastic matches. Virtually every one of these matches on PSA Live. The only one missing, the Petra Sport, which I'm hoping we can cover this year. But some absolute classics in there. Amma Shabana against Greg Gaultier in Hong Kong was thrilling. And the Tournament of Champions final I covered just a month ago was incredible. Greg Gaultier went up to a level that Nick Matthew just couldn't match. And talking to a lot of the pros here, a lot of the guys are saying that they feel that Greg is the man to beat. Well, I must also make an apology for one of our slides being wrong. Apology to Rodney Durbach, because he actually won here in the first year in 2004, beating Jan Kukal in the final. Every year this tournament has moved up a step in the ladder. And Shahid Zaman...
Ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a short break while Mr. Darwish has his knee fixed. His knee is actually bleeding, so it'll be as long as it takes to staunch the bleeding, and he'll be back on court as soon as he can.
So we have a blood injury here. And well, that gives a little bit more time for stats. Get your coffees in, lads. I'm going to bore you silly. But, as you can see, the quality of the players has moved up as each year has moved forwards. Last year, a lot of the top guys were here, as James Woolstrop beat Gregory Gaultier. And then this year, well, we've got all the big guns in. Well, one of the interesting slides, which we don't show, this is an all-Egypt match. So let's have a look at the Egyptian-ranked PSA players. And you can see that this is quite an incredible slide. There are 13 players on that list, and the 13th ranked player is world ranked number 53. So that just shows how strong squash is at the moment. While Hindi won't be playing for Egypt as one of the top 3 players in the World Team Championship in Denmark this year, unless he can improve his ranking somewhat. And he's world ranked number 8. That would be enough to be number 1 for just about every country except for a couple. And he can't even get in the team. Some real talent down that list, isn't there? Mohammed El Shabagi, Tariq Noman, Omar Massad. Some real players coming through. And it is going to be absolutely fascinating. Well, Karim Darwish is the world number 1, and I always think it's fascinating to look at going back to December 1981. A list of all the players who've made world number 1 spot. As you can see, John White and Lee Beachell, well, they'll always be on this list. They've got 24 and 25 against their name, but pretty soon that's going to be a 0, which means that they've retired. Peter Nicol was 75 months at world number 1, and well, nobody can ever seem to come up with a definitive figure of how many months Jahangir Khan was world number 1, and well, we've done a lot of homework, and our figure is 95 months. But I'd be more than happy for somebody to tell me that we're wrong. Jahangir Khan managed 97. Both absolutely dominated the game, couldn't be touched during that period. And incredible really, Jonathan Power, for a man with such skills on court, such talent, just managed a year and a half, mainly due to the fact that Peter Nicol just had that little edge on him during that period from the end of the 90s to the early 2000s. Emma Shabana, 33 months at world number 1, all in one big long spell. And of course the current world number 1 now, Karim Darwish. He's with just 2 months to his name. Well, if you are big statisticians out there, I'd be very interested to know actually on the chat, what do you think about this rest here? How is this going to affect the players? Both Ashour and Darwish are going to be coming into this final game fresh. The fitness level almost doesn't matter anymore. They're going to have a nice little break. They'll both be rehydrating themselves. David Palmer, 103 months in the world's top 10. And just showing Lunku, John White, some of the senior players, how long they've been in that top 10. Nick Matthew, one of the younger guys with 57 months in there. And just showing how long Karim Darwish has been around, 52 months for himself. Stuart Boswell, 27 months, which was his first period of playing the PSA Tour before he had that back injury. Here's a list of the most successful countries. England has 16 players in the world top 100, but Egypt are very close behind with 14, and Australia have 12 themselves. People might be saying, what happens when David Palmer departs the scene? There's Cameron Pilley, but there's certainly a lot of other young Aussies coming through, and it'll be very interesting indeed to see which of them, 2 Colombia, 1 from India, and we'll have a little look down the next page, just showing you how wide-ranging the game is, how many countries are covered. Unfortunately, Scotland won't have a player in the world's top 100 once John White retires. I think I'm right in believing that Stuart Crawford is still the Scottish number 2 and will become number 1. Of course, John White may well still play in the world teams. Well, we're just holding on. And, well, those of you in the chat room, tell me, who do you think is going to win this match? It really is a toss of a coin in my book. I can't really see anything in it. It's all going to be down to the odd mistake. Will Ashour fire away again? Well, we're going to find out. Here we go.
Karim.
Karim Darwish has changed into black shirt. I hope that bandage looks a little bit small to me. I hope that it's very well bandaged. Of course, the rule is if blood does come through, then he would lose the game, which would mean losing the match. He doesn't want to see any blood coming through here. I always remember a tactic that Anthony Ricketts used to employ. He'd get a black marker pen and colour it in so that you couldn't see any blood if it came through anyway. Only Ricketts ever did that, and I'm always amazed that nobody else actually thought of that or carried a black marker pen with them for that eventuality. Here we go.
Games are 2-all. Darwish to serve, love all.
What an enthralling match this has been. 2 games apiece.
One love.
What a quality start already. Our replay machine is broken. Best players in the world, both in great form. Really is a pleasure to see. We're probably not going to see these guys playing competitive squash in terms of the ranking points again this season. This could well be the last time we see them. In fact, it could be.
And that 1-all.
Darwish calls that down himself.
1-all. Not up. And out 2-1.
Just see there, that one definitely not up.
Left, please.
Power here from
left.
Karim. Just catching Ramy out there. Wasn't sure what shot he was trying to play there. I think he changed his mind. He was going to go down the line and then at the last second decided to try a little quick boast. Oh, wow.
2-3.
What a response. Unplayable.
Out 4-2.
Well, those last 2 points, perfect examples of Ramy Ashour will play the unplayable shot. And then an unforced error. Next match, repeat of the TOC final. Oh.
(5-2).
What a start for Darwish here. He's winning a lot of points from that front right corner. Ramy Ashour now in a very dangerous place in this match. What a shot!
(6-2).
Didn't he make that look easy? Big points now. Ramy's in trouble here. How will he respond? He's played that one very well.
3-6.
He wants to get on with it. Karim doesn't.
3-6. Down.
Oh, a mistake now from Darwish.
4-6.
So close. Slight chink of light here.
Yes, let. 4-6 from the left.
6-2 down. Wonderful dig. What a rally this is. Beautiful. What a time to have a rally. 1 minute and 20 seconds, and look at this. Oh.
5-6.
And in the end, Karim just ran out of steam. Interesting decision there from Darwish.
Stroke.
Karim wants to know why this is
6 all.
a stroke and not a let. And well, the ball's going wide. Not sure why that is a stroke. Darwish is well away from where the ball is. That's a tough call. He's given Ramy Ashour another point and he's a fraction away now.
Down.
And now we're tied at sixes.
Seven, 6.
So, I'm getting too excited. 7-6, 5 points in a row for Ramy Ashour. So exciting, we're missing points here. 5 points in a row, we're 6-2 down. Reflexes from Ashour there, and he's won the point.
Eight, 6. Down.
Oh, Darwish has tinned.
9, 6.
And now, 7 points in a row for Ramy Ashour.
Can we have a decision? Yes, let.
Yes. Darwish is staring at the officials here. I think in his mind now he doesn't see any difference between that one and the previous stroke. Massive point here. Ashour gets this point, he'll have 4 match balls and he's done it!
10-6, match ball.
After 73 minutes, Darwish is on the attack.
Down. And out. 7-10.
Well,
match
Ramy
ball.
Ashour blew that mistake. 3 match balls. For Ramy Ashour, his first final since winning the World Open back in October. What an incredible point. And Darwish has still kept it in. Oh, it's absolutely wonderful.
An average match, you know.
Yeah, the match wasn't the best, huh?
No, it was pretty average, yeah. I almost fell asleep at times.
I didn't.
I can tell. Absolutely stunning work across the middle, back and forth, up and down. Go, tell me about it. What was it like from your perspective?
Well, I mean, after all this running, I haven't got anything left to talk, you know.
I'm out of breath too.
That's right, but yeah, I just want to say Karim is my teammate, and we always train together, obviously play together. That's why you can see it's always crucial. We haven't got even crucial points. The whole match is a crucial points, and I mean, yeah, it's very tough to play him, and he's very fast. He covers the court really well, and I have to be even faster. I have to be always on my toes. I have to watch his hands all the time. I have to be even faster than the ball because he's really fast. So that's what I try to do on court, and at times I lost my concentration. I mean, you know, it's not easy on court here to keep, you know, your consistency and the focus all the time. Sometimes you've got patches ups and downs, so it's not always the best. So yeah, I think that happened to me in the third game, in the fourth game when we got equal, and I just had to fight back. I mean, in the last as well, he played well. He leaded 6-1, and they had to come back all the way, which I mean, should have taken a taxi. I mean, instead of.
I mean, hopefully Karim got a little bit of this standing ovation too. Everyone again, Karim Darwish for an amazing show. So this is a repeat of the match in Manchester at the World Open. In that match, he took the first game, you took the next 3. What were you thinking tonight when it looked like it was going the same way and then suddenly he takes the 4th?
Well, you're right. I was actually thinking a bit about Manchester and about the match and what happened. And yeah, I felt it was a playback, you know. But, you know, when he got the 4th, you know, with this negative thinking, you got away, you know, and they start thinking that it's a total different match and I don't have to finish it in 4. I can finish it in 5. And I mean, that's fair enough because last year here in the same court and the same season, the same month and everything, I lost against him. So this time I think it was fair enough for me to win.
I mean, it really did look like there was so many seesaws. I mean, you were working each other so hard. How do you feel like your body is right now after absorbing all that?
Well, of course, pretty exhausted. And I mean, it's not easy, you know, all this running on court. You know, I have to be very alert. My muscles have to be always like, you know, very alert and stuff. And it's not easy, you know, to do this work. But actually, to be honest with you, I'm not really like I can't analyze how do I do this on court. It just happens.
I can't either. It's amazing. So, one of the things that really struck me about this is just your speed across the middle. Were you creating opportunities to try and use that to get the cross court to then jump on it a little bit faster?
Well, yeah, I mean, this could be an analyzation to the thing, but I think like I can cover the court well. I think because I do a lot of I really take care of my training with the footwork. I do a lot of footwork, you know, back home, and I stay on court, you know, for hours doing the footwork and stay on court alone for a lot.
Shows.
Yeah. So I mean, it paid off, and that's what I wanted, you know. So I'm really glad I was here this year, and hopefully I'll do well tomorrow in the finals. And yeah, just come back and come tomorrow and cheer me as well. Huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ramy Ashour. One down. We're warmed up. We're going to take about a 10-minute intermission, and we'll come back for the second semifinal.
Well, what an incredible match. I'm seeing people saying on the chat room one of the best matches of all time. It certainly was an absolute classic. And, well, just pass the word on to your friends and tell them to come and download this match. DivX, I think that qualifies for DivX. We're going to have a 10-minute break before the next match. So we'll be back very shortly. And what a match this next one promises to be as well. Can it actually get any better than that? Because we've got two players who are on real form here. And, well, amongst a lot of the top players, they're saying that Matthew and Gaultier, at the moment, are at the top of the tree. So this one is going to be really special. Thank you very much for watching. This is PSA Live. My name's Adrian Battersby. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.